Yes, well, London's now world-famous New Year's Eve firework display has been cancelled, apparently, due to uncertainties posed by COVID-19. Now, it's the second year that this has happened, although we are not where we were last year, are we? This is a mass outdoor event attended by people who will more or less all have been double jabbed. And unless the fireworks were sourced from a laboratory in Wuhan, I struggle to see how this could act as a super spreader event. But then again, I'm not surprised that Sadiq Khan has cancelled this event, because it's just another excuse for him to do nothing, isn't it? His silence has been deafening when it comes to the violent crime epidemic sweeping the capital. 1,100 people were stabbed in London the year before the pandemic, and I can certainly remember him saying far more about green spaces and emissions than he has on that. He doesn't like mass gatherings on New Year's Eve, but if you're part of Extinction Rebellion or Insulate Britain, that's fine for Sadiq. And some of those demonstrations were at the height of the pandemic. There were, of course, the BLM marches as well, and he was OK with that. I can remember vividly Sadiq Khan wanting to stop Donald Trump coming to London. I think he approved the Trump blimp, potentially, as well, to hover over Parliament, depicting the then current President of the United States as a giant baby wearing a nappy. Now, I thought that was interesting at the time, because there appear to be a few potential inconsistencies when it comes to the London mayor, especially when it appears to come anyway, to maybe his values and his belief systems, etc., etc. Now, Sadiq Khan did actually, for a period of time as a human rights lawyer, represent the Nation of Islam in 2001 and 2002. They're a relatively radical group, I think it's fair to say. He was the group's solicitor in a legal battle to overturn a ban on its leader, Farrakhan, from entering the United Kingdom. Now, the ban was overturned and then later reinstated on appeal. Farrakhan is a hugely controversial figure who's denounced white people as devils, reportedly. He's also reportedly described Jews as bloodsuckers and even, again, reportedly, said Hitler was a great man. Now, in an interview with Jack Mandel at the GBNews, Khan said, "I've never hidden the fact that I was a human rights lawyer. Unfortunately, that means that I had to speak on behalf of some pretty unsavoury individuals." Well, I'm not sure you had to, Sadiq. You can choose your clients, as far as I'm aware, and according to reports, again, and these are just available online, Khan did appear to say that Farrakhan wasn't anti-Semitic or a preacher of racial hatred. So he said, and this is according to the Daily Mail, that Mr Farrakhan is not anti-Semitic and does not preach a message of racial hatred. Now, there's a few possible explanations for this, of course there are. Maybe Sadiq Khan has always been an ally of the LGBTQ+ community. Maybe he always felt the plight of the non-binary, and maybe he was always a devotee to feminism, and he just managed to somehow suppress those feelings, turn up to work every day, advocate for a radical group, and he's found that very, very difficult to understand. Maybe how he did manage to sleep at night. But just moving on now as well, potentially Sadiq Khan, his views changed over time. Of course, all of our views change over time, don't they? I don't feel the same way about a load of things that I did 10 years ago, for example. And one can understand that. But it's interesting, isn't it? Sadiq Khan just say one thing about one thing and another about another. And it just seemed a little bit strange, but maybe we'll just never know what's really going on.